prove to you who are the true perpetrators of the so-called race baiting that has been perpetrated or has been flipped on its side to show that African Americans are race baiting. Let me give you an example of true race baiting. Karl Rove. Karl Rove, why? Why do you give me this bait? Karl Rove has said Obama's ripping us apart by sympathizing with Trayvon's parents. Okay, sympathizing with the parents of a dead teen. Let's dig a little bit further. Why Karl Rove would feel that having the president of the United States, he's the president of the United States, no matter how I feel about him, feels that it would be dividing the nation apart by siding with the parents of a teen who has died doing nothing wrong. All right, if you would just give me a minute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carl Karl Rove is making this criticism. Karl Rove. Wow, another um, person from a line of eugenic bigots telling black people just exactly how they should feel and how you should take it because everything's fair. Well, as soon as this article gets up, I can read a bit for you. I like Karl Rove to speak for himself, and that is really that is the best way to have a person speak for themselves. I mean, and it's not just while I guess while I'm waiting on this, it's not just Karl Rove. It's other people, and they come around with the Oscars that in the ridiculous argument that Trayvon Martin had no right to self-defense, had no right to self-defense, which means that yes, today in 2013, you can enclose on a underage African American male or a child or any child of any race and murder them as long as there's no witnesses. Okay, let's look at this. Tucker Carlson, Jackson, Al Sharpton are hustlers and pimps. People like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are hustlers and pimps. Who do you see as a hustler? You see many white people as hustlers? No, I don't think so. Who do you see as a pimp? I only know one white pimp, and he was the president. Thank you, Paul Mooney. Um, Rove, Karl Rove, Tucker Carlson. We do not understand, and this is what feeds into the minds of the lower educated because they're going to follow and listen to anything what everybody says. People say, okay, well, it's an issue of race. While it is, while the case itself may be an issue of race, the bigger picture is much more broad than that. Our argument is that the legal system is not what it should be. For example, just why did um, 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 George Zimmerman get off? He got off because of the law. What did the law say? The law said that the prosecution, even if he were to cause an incident to where there was no witness to, when he came out alive and he murdered somebody, the law says the state still has to prove it. He's the only witness. I would think the only witness would have to prove without a reasonable doubt that he was innocent, which he did not do. He did not do. The case was won due to lack of evidence. Did not say he was innocent. He said he was, it said he was not guilty. Somebody give me a dictionary or a legal definition of not guilty. Not guilty does not mean innocent. All right, let's look at you, Karl Rove. This is from the Raw Story. Republican strategist Karl Rove on Sunday accused President Barack Obama of tearing the country apart by sympathizing with the parents of slain teen Trayvon Martin. During a panel discussion for Fox News, Chris Wallace asked Rove to respond to a possibility that the Justice Department could pursue civil charges after Florida juries found George Zimmerman not guilty of murder. Well, that would depend on what state you go to. Remember, the law is fucked. The law is so fucked that you can't get him convicted on something that he's obviously negligent for because he doesn't have to prove anything. An outside source has to prove everything, even though they were not there. I hope that this is the end, Rhodes said. President Obama politicized this at the beginning of it. I believe, unfortunately, by injecting himself into and saying that Trayvon Martin, if he had a son, he would look like Trayvon Martin. Yes, because just like you and the abortion loving left, what would they look like? What would black kids look like? Elephants? You can answer that. You can answer that yourself. But yes, if Barack Obama had a kid, he would look exactly like Trayvon Martin. They're putting all this hate stuff out about Trayvon Martin, and it's just to vilify the dead. Yes, I said vilify the dead as if they had nothing else to go on other than using disgusting tactics. The real disgusting thing is that George Zimmerman, according to the law in the state of Florida, will walk away scot free. You want to know, and people should just accept that because it's the law. Well, I got a question for you people that says, okay, well, people should just accept that because it's just the law. My question for you is, would the Indian that was illegal in the books right now in certain states, that the Indian crosses the same road you cross on his horse, you have the legal right to kill him. Would the Indian have written that law if he was there in that room with you? My point exactly. Wow.